What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United are back in action again in the Premier League. Matchday 7 up against Sunderland at Old Trafford. 3 p.m. kickoff tomorrow and manager is Regis Lebris. So under Lebris in last season in the Championship, Sunderland finished 4th. They finished with a total of 76 points. They won 21 games, drawn 13, lost 12, scored a total of 58 goals, conceded 44. And had a goal difference of plus 14. Obviously, they finished in the top 6. The top two promoted side, the top two sides in the Championship get promoted automatically to the Premier League. They qualify for the Championship playoffs, and in the playoffs last season, they beat Coventry City in the semi-finals 3-2, and then in the final, Sunderland managed to overcome Sheffield United 2-1 in the Championship playoff final. So they did get promoted into the Premier League. Since I think the last time they were in the Premier League was in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was in 2017. But in terms of some insights for the match, let's get into some insights for the match. So here are some insights. So Manchester United have lost just 2 of their last 30 league games against Sunderland, winning 22 and drawing 6. With this, their first since a 3-0 win in April 2017. Across all competitions, Sunderland have managed to win just 1 of their last 31 away games against Manchester United, drawing 9 and losing 21, winning 1-0 in May 2014 thanks to a Sebastian Larsson winner. Manchester United have won their last 2 home Premier League matches, as many as in their previous 9 combined at Old Trafford, drawing 2 and losing 5. The Red Devils are looking for 3 consecutive home wins for the first time since winning 8 in a row between April and August 2023. Sunderland have won just 1 out of 29 away Premier League matches against the Manchester clubs, drawing 4 and losing 24, a points per game of just 0.24, which is the worst of any side to play more than 15 away games against United and City. And Manchester United are unbeaten in their last 21 games against newly promoted sides, winning 21 and drawing 3 since losing 4-1 to Watford in November 2021. The Hornets were also the last promoted side to stop United from scoring in a 0-0 draw in February 2022. So there's some insights for you. It's looking good in terms of United playing against promoted sides. Like I mentioned, we have I think, what was the stat there? We are unbeaten in our last 24 Premier League games against newly promoted sides, winning 21 and drawing 3. So that's looking good for United. But in terms of some recent form for Sunderland, Sunderland started off the season pretty well. In their first game of the season, they won 3-0 against West Ham. They did lose to Burnley after that. And then they did get knocked out the EFL Cup by Huddersfield at penalty 6-5. They did win against Brentford after that 2-1. They got a really valuable point away at Crystal Palace 0-0. Then they drew against Aston Villa as well 1-1 when they had a man sent off as well. And then recently last week they did beat Nottingham Forest away from home as well. So they are currently 6th in the Premier League. I'm recording this after the Bournemouth and Fulham game is going on right now. So Sunderland have dropped to 6th, but obviously before this weekend's fixtures they were 5th in the Premier League. They played a total of 6 games, of course, winning 3, drawing 2 and losing 1. They've only conceded 4 goals in 6 matches all season, so the defensive record is looking pretty good. So in terms of some team news for Sunderland, Alice, Kirkin, Hoyde, Diarra and Mundell are out injured, while Reneneldo is out suspended. So in terms of Sunderland's starting 11, this is how I expect Sunderland to be lining up against United tomorrow. Obviously, Roof's in net, Hume, Michele, Alderete and Masuaku making up the 4 in midfield, Xhaka and Sadiki making up the 2 central defensive midfield positions. Then Talbi, Ridge and Lafitte making up the front 3 in behind Wilson Isidore. So in terms of attacking with possession, Lebris typically builds from a base back 4, either using a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 depending on the opponent and whether he wants to be more defensive more defensively balanced. Against weaker sides or more offensive opposition, he may push to a more attacking shape at times. The system can morph into something resembling a 3-4-3, and when more caution is needed, especially away from home, he'll opt for a 4-2-3-1, sacrificing some midfield control in exchange for more defensive solidity. In terms of build-up and progression, the centre-backs start from wider positions to stretch the opponent's press and increase passing distance from the press to reach them. He encourages passing into the pivot or into the 8 between the lines. The midfielders are given license to drift into half spaces or take advantage of vacated zones when the press is drawn. Wide triangles are a recurring structural motive. Fullback plus winger plus one of the midfielders. The idea is to create 1v1 situations out wide or overloads in the half spaces to destabilize the defensive block. In resisting an aggressive press, Libre's teams don't always try to force possession dominance. They may play longer passes or exploit spaces behind the press. And in transition from defense to attack, quick vertical progression is preferred. When attacking the opponent, when the opponent is disorganized, they'll try to push numbers quickly into the attacking third. So in terms of final third and attacking patterns, their wide players, often the inverted wingers, are expected not just to stay wide but drift inside and combine and assist in overloads. Fullbacks have an important role, sometimes holding a width, sometimes overlapping, depending on the side and match context. When facing teams that defend, Sunderland's attacking build-up can become more direct, crosses, cutbacks, rather than patiently trying to break the lines. So in terms of defending without possession, Libre tends to use a compact mid-block, often a structured 4-4-2 when defending. The forward pair play a role of screening and making penetration into central zones more difficult. One striker may arc his run to force play out wide, the other may drop to block diagonals or the switch. Wide midfielders shift and help press if the ball goes into the fullback side. The opposite wide midfielder narrows the cover inside that zone and maintain compactness. Against sustained pressure, the block may drop deeper into a low block to protect the penalty area. And pressing and triggers. Libre's team are not overly aggressive across the pitch, i.e. they're not ultra high press, but they do deploy selective pressing, especially in the opponent's build-up or at goal kicks. At goal kicks, they sometimes shift to a 4-1-3-2 or even a 4-4-2-4 shape, with forwards and advanced midfielders pushing up to pressure centre-backs directly or at least block central passing lanes. And pressing is often triggered when the opponent plays into their fullback or into pivot players, that is Sunderland's forwards or wide midfielders, will sprint to engage, aiming to force the ball wide or force the opponent into less desirable passing options. Also, when the ball is moved to the flanks, the ball side striker or winger may press aggressively while their teammates shift to cover passing lanes or prevent switches. So in terms of Sunderland's star man, I'm going to have to say it's Wilson Isidore. He's a very dangerous player in and around the box. Has definitely got a goal in him. Last season in the Championship, he scored 12 goals and got 2 assists, I think. And then this season in the Premier League, he scored 3 goals in 6 appearances so far. So that's Sunderland for you. I think they're going to come and they're going to... it's going to go either two ways. Either they're going to smell blood. They're going to think that United haven't got much confidence and they're going to come and high press us at Old Trafford. Or they're going to sit back in a compact 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2 mid-block and just absorb pressure and then hit us on the counter-attack. I'm thinking they're most likely going to hit us on the counter-attack and just sit in a 4-4-2 low to mid block, and I'm thinking that they're going to allow United to come onto them. United are going to leave gaps in behind for Sunderland to exploit, and they're going to hit us on the counter, and I think that we may get exposed in that. But in terms of United, let's speak about Manchester United a little bit. Last match, we are coming away with a disappointing 3-1 away loss to Brentford, and it was a poor defensive display. It was poor going forward as well. Defensively, we were poor for all the goals we conceded. I think our defense was at fault for all of the goals that we conceded. Maguire was at fault for the first goal, of course, because he tried to play offside, and then Bayinde parries out for the second one, straight to Thiago, so he can get a second. And then for the third goal, I think Bayinde needs to be doing better than that. Even though it's a good strike by Jensen's, I think Bayinde needs to be doing better. In terms of United's injuries, Martinez and Mazraoui are still out. But I think Mazraoui is out up until the international break, and Martinez, of course, is out with a longer term injury. I think Malacia has returned to first team training, so I'm not sure if he's going to be part of the matchday squad or not. Probably not, because he lacks match fitness. But Ahmad is back after his bereavement leave, because he had someone pass away from his family, and of course the club was supporting Ahmad in this difficult time, and we all support him as well. In terms of United's starting 11, this is my preferred starting 11, not my predicted. So of course I've gone with Lemons in net. Hopefully he gets his first Premier League start, because I've not been convinced by Bayinde whatsoever. A back three of Euro, Dillet and Shaw. I think Euro has been unlucky not to be starting against, I think, Chelsea and against Brentford, so hopefully he does come back into the starting 11. A midfield four of Ahmad, Casemiro, Fernandes and Dogu. I'm bringing Ahmad in for Dalot simply before that attacking threat. We can't be starting with 5 defenders at the back. We need to be more attacking, especially because we're at home, and we are the superior side to Sunderland as well. Then a front three of Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko. Hopefully this front three gels together. The more playing time they get together, the more kind of synergy they create, the more kind of understanding they get with playing with each other. So hopefully they can build that understanding, and we can see the fruits of actually having a brand new forward line, because I think they're really good players, Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko, but we just haven't seen them link up together properly just yet. Hopefully we do see that soon, because it's key for us to be moving up to the table if Cunha, Mbeumo and Sesko can get on the score sheet, start providing each other with assists and get on the score sheet. So also I wouldn't even mind Kobbie Mainoo starting, but I don't think he's going to start personally, but I wouldn't mind seeing him, because when he has come off the bench so far this season, he has looked pretty good in my opinion. Starman for United, I'm going to have to say it's Mbeumo again. I have gone with Bruno Fernandes a couple of times previously, but Mbeumo, of course, last season he scored 20 goals and provided 7 assists. I think he is one of the top chance creators in the Premier League. Let me just take a look. I'm pretty sure he is, along with Bruno Fernandes, of course, this season. The person that's leading the stat for most chances created is Jack Grealish. He's on 17 chances created. Bruno Fernandes is on 16 chances, so he's in second place. Then Bryan Mbeumo is on 12 chances created. He's in 7th place. So Bruno Fernandes and Bryan Mbeumo have been our top chance creators so far this season. Hopefully they can get on the score sheet tomorrow and create some chances, get some assists, because we are really lacking that at the moment. So how do you beat Sunderland? So number one, exploit the half spaces and overload the flanks. Sunderland under Libri likes to build from wide triangles and create 1v1s out wide. United should send extra movement into half spaces to overload Sunderland's fullback and winger combination, forcing them into difficult choices and creating crossing or cutback opportunities. Number two, control transitions and prevent fast counters. One of Sunderland's strengths is exploiting disorganized defenses when they win the ball back deep or in transition. United must have defensive cover when pushing forward. Ensure central midfielders stay mindful or rear cover and fullbacks don't get isolated. Quick recovery runs and disciplined spacing will be crucial. Number three, press decisively in build-up to disrupt their rhythm. Libri doesn't always press aggressively throughout, preferring a more measured mid-block and selective pressing triggers. United should pick moments, i.e. when Sunderland's centre-backs or pivots receive the ball, to press hard and force mistakes or hurried clearances, especially at Old Trafford. Applying early pressure in their own half can tilt momentum. Number four, be sharp in switching play and stretching their block. When Sunderland sit compact centrally, mid-block or low-block, United must be ready to switch play quickly across the pitch. That will pull Sunderland wide, open up gaps in central zones and allow overlaps or underlaps. The faster the switch, the more vulnerable the flanks become, and deep crosses or diagonal balls behind fullbacks can punish their structure. So number 5, finally, exploit set pieces and second ball. So Sunderland's compact style sometimes concedes bits in aerial duels and loose balls, especially after clearances or flicks. United should look to win second balls in the box from crosses, corners and free kicks. Also use routines to unsettle their compact defence. So that's how you beat them. That's how you beat Sunderland. I think it's going to be a difficult game for us tomorrow. Sunderland have started off the season really, really well. Like I mentioned, they are currently... let's take a quick look at the league table. See where they're at. See where Sunderland are at. So... pull up the league table here. Sunderland are currently 6th in the Premier League. Of course, before Bournemouth and Fulham did kick off, Sunderland were in 5th position. But, you know, they've conceded only 4 goals all season. United have conceded a total of 11 goals. I think it's going to be a difficult game tomorrow. But if United do win, we'll move to 10 points and possibly push up into the top half of the league, depending on how other results go. But we'll see how that goes. Obviously, if Sunderland do win, they would move to 14 points, and that would be a massive gap. That would be a 7-point gap that's opened up between us and Sunderland, so we can't be allowing that such early on in the season if we are to have any chances of finishing in Europe, in the European places, or even in the top half of the league. I think, you know, we could struggle to finish in the top half of the league again this season. You know, we could have another write-off season if things don't turn around quickly. I think Amram is under huge pressure. You know, I think Radcliffe has come out and said that he wants to give Amram the whole season. I'm not sure how that's going to go, because, you know, it's a results business at the end of the day, and if Ruben Amram isn't getting the results and he's not tactically changing his system, or he's not showing anything on the pitch that warrants him to be in this job, then I think he could get the sack pretty early on. So me personally, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Sunderland win with scorers Isidore and Xhaka. At the moment, my sentiment is very pessimistic. I just don't have the confidence to back this Manchester United side to get the job done. Hopefully they do prove me wrong, though. I want them to win, of course, but I'm preparing myself for the worst to avoid disappointment. So I know it's a really pessimistic score prediction, but I predicted a loss against... I think I predicted a loss against Chelsea, but we won. I predicted a loss against Brentford and we lost. So I was right there. But obviously, I don't want to be predicting losses, but I just don't have the confidence. You know, I really don't have the confidence to back this Manchester United side to get the job done. I think Sunderland are going to get the better of us. They have started off the season really well. They've got some really good results so far. They've conceded only 4 goals all season in 6 games. Man United, on the other hand, have conceded 11. Defensively, we've looked woeful in all of the games that we played. We've conceded in every single game that we played. Not managed to keep a clean sheet so far in the Premier League this season in 6 games. I think that Sunderland are going to win 2-0. So anyway, hopefully I'm proven wrong, and hopefully Man United do come away with the win. Anyway, if you enjoyed this preview, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.